to the November 21st meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Matt McNamara. To my right is David Haddad, who is a voting member of the board. To my left is Scott Zielinski, who is the clerk of the board. To his left is Patty Johnson, who is a voting member of the board. And to her left is Mark Kuhl, who's an associate member of the board. Our vice chairman, Ken Foreman, will not be with us this evening. I'd also like to introduce Sari Budrow, who is our zoning administrator. This evening we have one continuation, we have 3 new hearings, and we have several items on our agenda following the hearings. I would just like to go over, as there are a number of new people here that we don't typically see, what we try to accomplish on these evenings. What we try to do is have a full and fair hearing on every application that comes before us. We make our decisions based on fact and the law, the zoning bylaw in particular. We do that by reviewing information that's been submitted to our file. We do site visits so that we gather information at the property, and we also take testimony. I would ask for your cooperation as we go through the evening and ask for your respect. First of all, if you do have a cell phone or an electronic device, if you would silence it at this time. Please do not speak amongst yourselves because it'll deprive the board of being able to hear what the speaker that's been recognized wants to tell us. And when you have your opportunity to speak, you'll want the full attention as well. The chairman will recognize people to speak. You'll have the opportunity, everyone will have an opportunity to speak if it's pertinent to the case, at which time you'll be asked to come to the lectern, introduce yourself in terms of your name and your address, and if you are speaking in favor or in opposition, we'll ask for that information as well. The first thing that I'm going to ask the board to do, because we had a number of requests for things to be taken out of order this evening, and we'll try to accommodate them. So I'm going to ask the board to make a motion and then vote on the following order on our agenda. And if anyone needs a copy of our agenda, it's on the table up here. The first item would be, which is not a hearing, but it's the finalization of a decision on Generation AJW, which was application 83-13. We have a draft decision that we need to act on tonight. The second item would be application 9313 for Richard DePietro. The third item would be the Okagawa continuation. The fourth would be application 9513 for Thomas Duggan. Then it would be application 9913 for Min Lee, and then we will go into the items following the agenda, following the hearing. So moved. We have a motion from Mr. Zielinski, seconded by Mr. Haddad. All those in favor of taking the items out of order, say aye. Aye. Opposed, unanimous vote. All right, on the first item, which is what I'll refer to as the Hamilton application, as the board knows, at our last hearing, we did close that matter. We took it under advisement. We asked the zoning administrator to draft a positive decision for us. We gave her a lot of input in terms of the findings and the conditions. We gathered input from the applicant's attorney. And the board has had an opportunity to review and comment as well. And all of us that are here tonight were, no, with the exception of Scott, so Mark and Patty, myself, and David were the voting members. So is there anything additional that the board would like to bring to our attention?
No, I don't think so.
Other than a thank you to Sari for all of the hard work and pulling together a complex decision.
I'll make a motion to,
Patty?
I just wanted her to sit down, maybe, right? The secretary? No? Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to grant application 83-13.
As the draft.
Yep, as drafted by Sari.
Seconded by Mark. Any further discussion?
Yes, there was something on the latest revised edition that came through to us that had a new item on it that was suggested by Jeff. And do we have to discuss that?
Suggested by
Jeff Oppenheimer. Oh, I don't have the one that came through on the email. It was bold. It was bold on it.
Yeah, I unbolded it because there was absolutely one comment from Ken Foreman and one from Chairman McNamara, and I fixed it. Let me see, I can figure out, did you have an issue with it?
Well,
No, I just felt that because it wasn't discussed publicly, that we couldn't approve it.
Everything in this condition,
Was
in the
discussed.
findings and conditions were discussed, otherwise I cannot
Okay.
put it into the decision.
Okay. Then I just want to make sure that.
And it was number 3,
Okay, number
I
3.
believe.
So it was a motion by Mr. Haddad and seconded by Mr. Cool.
I'm okay then, because I reviewed everything. I just felt we had to bring it up again, that particular.
No, because the hearing's closed, you can't bring up anything.
No.
Yeah. We discussed it,
Among
Patty.
ourselves,
Yeah.
Okay.
whether that was,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote.
And it was a 4-0.
That's right. And I just do want to comment, and I did, I just feel it's important. I think that this became a very workable decision of ours because of an applicant that was willing to work with the board. And I think that's very much appreciated. Oftentimes, we find people that don't want to work with the board, and we still try to come up with a good decision, but it was nice to be able to have an applicant that worked with us to, I think as one of our members said, recycle a piece of property and to come up with what we think will be a good plan for the town. So thank you very much.
thank you.
Good luck with it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Jeff, for all your help.
Oh, Jeff's.
The next then is application 9313, Richard DePietro. I'll ask the clerk to read it into the record.
All set?
Yep.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you're hereby notified that Richard DePietro of Linfield, Mass. applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals pursuant to Sections 240-3, 240-204 through 208, and Town Code Sections 310-3.5.2 for a special permit for work already completed to repair and replace farmer's porch to allegedly the same layout of the single-family dwelling on a 10,575 square foot residential B-zone parcel known as 8 Riverway in North Falmouth, Mass.
Okay, could you pass that down? We have a letter in the file requesting this be continued until December 5th at 6:30 PM. So is there a motion?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
No second it.
All right, we have a motion to continue application 9313 to December 5th at 6:30 PM. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Okay, all right. We're sort of back in the order where we wanted to be. So the next application is 3313. This is a continuation of Linda Okagawa's application. This matter was opened on May 16th of this year. It was continued to July 25th of this year, and it was continued again until this evening for the express purpose of giving the board the opportunity to experience the shadow flicker. Mark, did you want to state
Mr.
something
Chairman,
before
I
we
would
get
like
going?
to recuse myself from hearing 3313.
Okay, thanks. So Mark is going to leave the hearing room as we continue with this. If I could, I think those of you who have been here for this before, you're expecting my little speech, so I'll give it. This is not a matter about whether wind power in the town of Falmouth is appropriate or inappropriate. This is not the forum. This is specifically related to a private nuisance claim that has been raised by Linda Okagawa at the property located at 821 West Falmouth Highway. So if anyone is here to talk about wind power in general, whether it be for or against, this is not the forum. This board is only going to entertain any testimony from those people who represent the town, and those that either represent Linda Okagawa or have been invited by Linda Okagawa onto the property or have a legal right to be there. So we're not interested in hearing anything from people who might think that they know what's going on. As I said at the very beginning, we're here to gather facts, and those facts are going to be limited to that precise issue. So what we'll do is we'll give Linda the opportunity to fill us in on anything new. Then we'll give the opportunity for the town, and then we'll take the limited testimony that I described, and the board will have some questions as well. Linda?
Linda Okagawa of 821 West Falmouth Highway. Mr. Chairman, as far as procedures is concerned, I just have a question. I have a little update.
Yep.
And then I want to know that I'll be able to do a rebuttal or something at the end of the, right?
I think everyone that's in this room knows that I'm going to do my best to give everyone a fair opportunity, so.
Okay, in other words, I won't go through that whole.
Linda, just go right ahead, and we know you're representing yourself, so we'll guide you through
You want me to
everything.
go through the whole thing? I
You
will.
go through whatever you want.
Oh,
This is your opportunity.
okay, thank you. I stand before you almost 4 months since July 25th, when my hearing was continued. And so I'll give you a little quick update. Flicker, which was the reason for this continuation, began to appear on my property on October 18th and has continued since then on days that are sunny, partly cloudy, and not completely overcast. A number of you have seen this to some extent on my property and in my house. Weather conditions that come with a change in seasons and the need to spend more time inside with windows closed, as well as the obnoxious strobing of flicker, have increased discomfort and disrupted daily routines. The change in operating hours since October has affected the quality of sleep, deprived, and particularly reduced the hours of relief from the continual pressure pulses that are so fatiguing and stressing. Now I've been sleeping every night and working away from home most every day, except when I go back to document flicker in the morning, since November 10th. I've been living at my daughter's house. A lack of clarity, thinking and organization, and constant fatigue and recurring pressure symptoms for several weeks before I moved down the street left me desperate to prepare for this, and so the only thing to do was to find a different surrounding. No, you want me to keep on going? Okay. As a point of clarification, all right, on January 30th, 2013, and February 27th, 2013, I filed complaints and requested relief from the building commissioner from effects of both Wind 1 and Wind 2 at the town's wastewater treatment facility. Although I was a novice at filling out complaint forms, the January complaint clearly states, that there was 4 p.m., the turbine was on, there was loud noise from Wind 1 and Wind 2. That's a line here for the 24th. And it also shows that at 1 p.m. on the 30th, both Wind 1 and Wind 2 were very loud. So the complaints on this first submission were about Wind 1 and Wind 2. Mr. Gore and Town Council Duffy support denial of enforcement based on DEP sound standards, 10 dB over ambient. In a recent case, a Superior Court judge said that the Falmouth bylaw does not define nuisance in relation to any DEP standards. It requires the ZBA to use plain language, the plain language meaning of the bylaw, to judge nuisance as offensive because of injurious or obnoxious noise, vibration, or other objectionable features. The judge said a nuisance under 240.110 does not require the scientific proof or expert testimony that Mr. Duffy says are needed. He said nuisance was supported by extensive complaints by the appellant and by subjective experiences of turbine-related discomfort by persons on the subject property when the turbines were operating. Although the judge said numerical evidence is unnecessary, he stated that the reference to Falmouth's wind energy systems bylaw is not unreasonable because it's 6 over dBA, 6 dBA over ambient standard, reflects the understanding of the ZBA and town residents with direct respect to excessive wind turbine noise. On June 12, 2012, the DEP measured 6.6 over ambient in the daytime at my property. The DEP never measured noise at night, nor infrasound. The air pressure disturbance experienced on my property with the turbines running as painful pressure in the ears and head on a frequent and continuing basis falls under the plain meaning of other objectionable features, as of course the shadow flicker. In my naivete about filing nuisance complaints with the town of Falmouth, I assumed there would be a site visit and a personal discussion of my complaint in which I would further explain support of the nuisance. For example, a new flicker study that was prepared by the CEC in July 2012 for the WTOP. This modeling has results specific to 821. There never was a site visit, so the record before Mr. Gore was not enhanced as I expected. Mr. Duffy dismisses flicker as a transitory impact. It may be short-lived in his view, but its duration is excessive by all standards. There are substantial impacts on the entire property. Look up, there's strobing above you. Look around, it's on all sides of you. Look down, it's under your feet. This is an unreasonable interference with the use and enjoyment of our property. Mr. Gore used a study by Weston and Sampson of 124 Ambleside Drive to draw conclusions about the amount of flicker at 821 West Falmouth Highway. The DNV KEMA study, the one which was prepared for the WTOP by the CEC, it shows modeling for both properties. And a quick look. This is Ambleside Drive, that one, and this is me, receptor 52, okay? It shows you they have nothing in common. 821 has flicker only from wind 1 from mid-October to February. 124 has flicker from wind 2 in March and April, and again in August and September. It has flicker from wind 1, November through January. The number that Mr. Gore cited, 26 hours and 16 minutes, or 26.16 hours per year, which represents the unidirectional real case expected value, is far below the 40.13 hours actually documented in the 2012-2013 flicker year in the calendars, annotated calendars I've just sent you, as well as, of course, the worst case 64.49 forecast for 821 that was in the model. The current Falmouth bylaw states the standard for unreasonableness. The applicant must demonstrate that flicker will not occur more than 30 minutes per day and will not exceed total 10 hours per year over the property line. 79% of occurrences at 821 in the last year, last cycle, exceeded 30 minutes in length. The shadow flicker caused by wind 2 is a nuisance on 2 counts, too many hours a year and too long in duration. I had planned, if you would indulge me, to show a time capsule real quick on the video. I don't know if you have time for that. It shows you how long it is, because most of the people who visited didn't stay for the entire experience, so up to you.
I wish that you had let me know. I would have had you warm it up, because
Oh.
if we pause now to get that warmed up, what I'd ask you to do
We
is...
can warm it up now, and then we can do it later, that's
Well,
fine.
that's it. If you want to have somebody get it going for you,
Okay.
or get it going, But continue with your testimony, because I don't want to take the time out for the machine.
Sure,
to,
okay, that's fine. Yeah, because I think, what I'd like you to see is that it
Yep,
is an
this
issue
is-
with the
this is where
property
time
line.
went. I
It
just-
is an issue with the property line, and it is an issue of excessive duration here, so.
Can you move on with the
Yes,
rest of what
yes,
you're doing, and
I
then
am.
we'll come back
Okay.
to this? Thank you.
Low-frequency sound, which is felt through pressure and vibration, not heard, from a Vestas V82 has been measured in a home less than a mile away, which I think we discussed before. Likely by coupling with my home, this type of turbine output has produced a resonant environment in my home, a nuisance environment where I can see the blinds moving in rhythm, and I can feel the pressure in my ears and chest. On pressure and vibration, the Superior Court judge I mentioned before said the ZBA did not need a formal study. People's experience due to changes in air pressure is evidence of other objectionable features. Observations during turbine exposure and without it are another way of validating the turbine is correlated with nuisance effects. Now, in another track, the judge found the town's defense of immunity from nuisance due to public purpose wanting. Mr. Duffy seeks to apply the same case law to my complaint, as was in the other case. The judge said, even those legislatively sanctioned are only granted immunity that is subject to the qualification that business must be carried on without negligence or unnecessary disturbance on the rights of others. On November 14th, 2011, at town meeting, the chairman of the Board of Selectmen said the following: I move that the Board of Selectmen direct the town manager to discontinue the operation of Falmouth Wind 1 immediately. The Board of Selectmen will authorize Wind 2 to be commissioned and operated to its full capacity for the purpose of studying the noise and health effects of Wind 1 on its neighboring community. Knowing that Wind 1 was disturbing neighbors of the wastewater treatment facility, the Board of Selectmen turned on Wind 2. My comments to the town's Gmail account immediately following the February 16th, 2012 full operation indicate that there was indeed disturbance of the rights of others. I lost my rights to the use and enjoyment of my home and property as I have presented in this proceeding. My complaints highlighted specific examples of the nuisance at 821 West Falmouth Highway, but we are potentially subject to these impacts whenever the turbines are in operation. The pulsating sound pressure at such a short distance, 1,225 feet, my house, which is well within the setbacks recommended for industrial wind turbines these days, is ongoing. And as the only medically trained member of the Falmouth Board of Health stated, has not been shown to be harm-free. After listening to testimony from myself and others for years, she said both turbines, this is Dr. Harkness, can be considered a nuisance. As mentioned, it is frequently necessary to leave the property for relief. So now I must use my property part-time, dependent on the turbine's erratic performance and scheduling. With conditions as they are, I doubt I could find anyone to buy my house at a fair market price, if at all. As one town meeting member who made a site visit said to me, I cannot imagine living here with Wind 2 looming over the house. So add home value impact to flicker, noise, and pressure vibration. Any one of these is a nuisance. Together, they are over the top. We need some permanent relief. Thank you. Okay, now, Malcolm, do you have that we can show?
Is it the planning board presentation?
No. Oh, it is way over in the corner. It is that one, that's it. Yes.
Yeah,
It says,
the ones that are in red,
I
just
know
shut
the
those
time
off, okay?
recording.
Yep, and the one above it, there you go.
7:20 a.m. There are already trees on the driveway. November 8th, 7:20. Uh-oh. right in there.
Sorry about that.
Yep. November 8th, 7:20 a.m. Flicker already introduced and on the driveway. November 8th, 7:27 a.m. November 8th, 7:31 a.m. Flicker approaching. Number 8, 7:32 a.m. Number 8, 7:42 a.m. Upstairs bedroom. Number 8, 8:12 a.m. Okay, November 8th, 8:17 a.m. All the way to go. November 8th, 8:23 a.m. November 8th. Still flicker over my property line in the back. That was it. So that just gives you kind of an idea of how long it is every day. So,
Anything else, Linda?
no, I think that's pretty much.
Because I think the board may have some questions for you at this
Certainly.
time. Before I do, I forgot to ask the clerk to give us any update on new information on the file that was submitted other than by you or the
Oh,
town.
yes, I don't know then.
There's email from Sari to Linda. And then, let me see. Copies of the 63 complaints to the town. There's an email of support from a Bruce and Jane Wooden at 845 West Falmouth Highway. The Flickr calendars that Linda spoke of. And just miscellaneous attachments from Linda to the office.
Patty, you want to start off with any questions for Linda?
Have you experienced any moon flickers in the last, since we met in July?
No, not since we met. I think I reported that I'd seen it once. Yeah.
On July 23rd. But no other ones. And I couldn't hear, when did you start taking those videos on the 8th of November?
What time?
What time was the
I
first
think it was
one?
7:20 was the first video, which shows when it comes up my driveway.
In the wind direction that day?
Well, I don't have that information. I would say that it was probably somewhat west because the blades were facing us.
Do you get the flicker on all the other wind directions?
To some extent, yes. Yep. This year I've been really diligent about recording it video because, last year I had to make a calendar out of a sort of diary here.
So you've done other videos on other days?
Yes, I've done videos almost every day. So I've done another calendar, and on that calendar, I have the times that I've taken off of the videos.
And the infrasound is on the same days you get the flicker, or different days, or different times, and,
Well, that's a whole different thing, the infrasound. I mean, that's their I'm assuming, there's always some extent of it when the turbine is operating, because I think it's one of the outputs of the turbine. Some days it's worse than others. As I noted last time I was here, sometimes I think that it isn't the wind, well, the wind speed is very noisy, but sometimes I seem to be more troubled when the blades are more perpendicular. I'm still trying to understand this. I don't know if something's coming off the, it's hard to tell when you're going to be affected, but that pressure is bad, and it's worse inside the house. I mean, you can feel it outside, but that's what makes it unlivable, kind of a resonance.
and my notes were inconsistent, or seemed to be incomplete on a question I asked you on the July hearing. I asked you whether you have the same shades in your house that you had. I mean, have you changed them since these episodes have started?
No.
So they're the same ones?
They're cellular shades, those ones to keep the heat in. And in the big room, they have quilted shades.
But they're the ones that were on the house when you bought it?
Yeah. Well, no, I put on a lot of
Well, you
cellular
put 'em on,
shades,
but
but the quilted
before-
shades were there, yes.
But it was before the wind turbine
Oh, yeah.
two
Yes.
started to
Yes,
operate?
definitely, yes.
Because you've been in the house how many years?
Well, we bought the house in 2000, the end of 2000, and we moved full-time in 2004.
Okay. Okay. All right, and the quotes you used were from the judge that's involved in the Anderson case. A lot of quotes that you used, that was the judge. I mean, that was the,
That was a piece, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I didn't mean to
Okay.
drag that particular case, except that I received the same document, I think, pretty much the same document at the end of my July testimony about case law and a lot of other
yeah.
things.
Okay, those are my questions right now.
Thanks, Patty. Scott?
Ms. Okugawa,
Yes.
are you seeing any medical professionals, either medically or psychologically?
As it relates to...
As it
To
relates,
this, yeah,
you mean,
to
have I
this.
seen, am I seeing them more frequently
As
than
it
I
re-
was?
In regards to this issue?
To this? I have gone and complained of ear pain and things like that, and generally speaking, I've had no ear infection. And I have, I don't know, I'm just trying to think, nothing extensive. I have arthritis and a few things like that, which have been really, maybe it's the tension, I don't know. Anyway, it's hard to say. I go to the chiropractor frequently.
How much more past 30 minutes of flicker a day would you say on an average? If you had to give me the amount of minutes a week,
This is here's my new calendar that I just did here. How many times is it over? Is that what you're
just
saying?
a rough estimate of how much
I can tell
time
you how many minutes it
in an
was in
aggregate
October.
number for the
Okay.
week.
Okay, well, that means I have to do math here. My feet here. Would you like the calendar? I had 64 minutes, 60 minutes, 60 minutes, 18 minutes, 18 minutes, 38 minutes, 105 minutes, 55 minutes.
That's all in 1 week, Linda?
No, here.
No.
We have it in the
Yeah,
file.
we do.
No, this is
And
new.
this is
This one I just did because I realized that I hadn't taken things off the video and put them onto a calendar like last year. So now this is this year, which I just finished today.
Do you have a copy that you can give us?
Yes, happy to do that. Just a minute, I'll find one.
I'll let you do my job again.
that's why I was anxious to show you the video, so that you could see the duration.
Scott's got the question.
My last question is, and how much, ballpark, how much time are you spending away from your house because of this issue, not in any other circumstances, a week?
Okay, well, this whole time, I've gone out because I couldn't.
Gone out or not slept at your
Not
house?
slept at home and left as much as possible. I would leave, I'd come home for the flicker because people were coming over to see it, and I was trying to get a recording of it. So I'd come back at 6:30 in the morning and
So
stay
currently,
till 10.
you're not spending the nights at your house either?
No.
And how long has that been?
Well, I left on November 10th. I contemplated it well before that because I'm very disorganized in my head, and I'm not able to concentrate and work on my
Okay.
things. So I mean, I can't even organize things. It's
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Linda, with the calendar you just did, is that flicker that's on your property, or are we talking just inside your home?
No, that's on my property.
As soon as it touches your property line, that's when you start,
That's right, but
calculated.
because like on this one you watched, because of the bits and pieces there, documented, you can kind of see how much time it's in the house versus in the yard. I think you
And is
get an
that-
idea of that.
is that wind 1 in, wind 2
No,
type
I
thing?
only get wind 2. I
Wind
don't
2?
get anything from wind 1.
Okay, and you referenced your complaints, the January 24th and the
Right.
February 27th. But you mentioned excessive noise and vibration. Does that happen now?
Yes, yes.
That's an
That's
all
one of
year?
the things that's driving me away, because if I'm sitting in my office at my computer and, I'm feeling ear pressure and kind of pressure, I can't explain that it's pressure. You feel a little bit jittery or something. You just can't, That's why I'd like to know more
So-
about what's actually being delivered,
So it's
at
not,
me.
it's not like the flicker where, I think last time you said the flicker starts in October and sometime in February. This is a constant, all
It's a
year long
constant
on the
thing. It's-
vibration, the noise.
Right. Yes, and the pressure is, it is aggravated, I would say, in the winter months probably, and also when the windows are closed, I find it usually is more uncomfortable.
And you mentioned that DMV flicker study.
Yeah.
How does that differ from what you've been calculating?
Oh, well, that's a model, and they put a lot of, they put inputs in. So, for example, they assume that you, the person receiving the flicker at your home, you are represented, I think, by a 1 meter by 1 meter window. And so they don't calculate, and in that model, all of the things going on in your lawn, out and around your property. So for that reason, when I think it was a Centec, presented the results of this model and they were looking at mitigation strategies, they advised putting 30 minutes extra on the ends of these incidences because that would be sure to take care of the flicker on the entire property as opposed to just on this, meter.
So
1
their
meter
modeling
square.
is a worst-case scenario, where yours is real case.
Mine is real case, right.
Okay, thank you.
Linda, a couple of things. You mentioned the property value this
Yes.
evening. Have you had a real estate expert appraise, give you any documentation as to the lost value?
Yes.
Have you submitted that to the file?
No, because I questioned your assistant, and she said that it wasn't a part of this hearing, so I
Well,
didn't.
No, I didn't say that.
You said that, didn't you
I
say
said
we weren't
it's not in
addressing?
your complaint. You can submit whatever you want.
Oh.
It wasn't part of your
I see, I
complaint.
misunderstood you again, I'm
You said
sorry.
it's in the nuisance thing, but that is not part of your complaint, and I asked you if you had tried to sell your property. I don't believe you ever told
I
me
haven't
that you
tried
had
to sell,
something
no, I
from a
haven't tried to
realtor.
sell it. I had appraisal done, We refinanced to have an appraisal for December 2010.
I guess more specifically,
And then I have one that was done this month.
what I'm more specifically trying to get at is, has some expert told you that your house has been devalued because of the wind turbines?
I would say so.
No, has some expert told you that?
Well,
Has a real estate agent? told you?
yes, not a real estate agent, the appraiser.
Okay. Is that a document in writing?
The document is there. There's a picture of the wind turbine there.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not
No, I'm
making
not,
myself.
understand. Did he say to me it was specific? He
Right,
compared
and-
me with other homes in the area and so forth in doing the appraisal.
What I'm trying to get at is.
Did he say the words? I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
Please, just bear with me for a second, okay? I'll try to make myself really clear. You mentioned the devalue of your property because of the wind turbines.
Right.
You're not a real estate expert, are you?
No.
Okay. Have you had a real estate expert that has come to the same conclusion and given you a report?
Oh, a real estate expert. Well, I had a real estate expert look at it, but I didn't get a report
Okay. So you don't have a document that you could give us that.
from a real estate agent as opposed to an appraiser.
Do you have a document that you could give us that says that your property has been devalued because of the wind turbines?
I have the appraisal. You can look at it and see if you feel that the way it was done was the wind turbines.
I'm not a real estate expert, I'm not an appraiser, so what I'm saying is, does that document that you're referring to have a conclusion in there, or something in the document that says, the Okagawa house at 821 West Falmouth Highway is worth less today because of the wind turbines?
No, I don't think it says it in those terms.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do you know Bruce Wooden?
Yes?
Okay. Had you spoken with him in order for him to submit his email?
No, he sent me a copy after he had submitted
Okay.
it.
Do you know what his area of expertise is?
Cellular something. I'm not sure.
Okay. But it's not real estate?
No, I don't believe so.
And
I don't know him very well. I mean, he's a neighbor, but, you know.
Okay, all right. Because he commented about Flickr assessing, et cetera, and I don't know anything about him, and he didn't give us any information,
He's
so.
in Mexico right now.
Well,
He
I'm
might
trying to
be here.
determine, you know, of how much weight we give that.
Right.
Okay. And I may have been mistaken, but I believed in the material that you submitted to us, you were saying that the guidelines of the Cape Cod Commission indicate that shadow flicker more than 10 hours per year is a problem, an issue.
Right.
Is it in the Cape Cod Commission, or is it
Yes,
what
it
you
is.
said?
It's several places. I think I said this when I was here before. It's in our bylaw.
Okay, which is what you
It's
said.
in the Cape Cod Commission, it's in Bourne's bylaw, and it was recommended let me see, what did they recommend? I think it was recommended in the, the expert panel. I have it in the binder if you want me to.
Okay. Well, no, you may want to look later.
I
and-
said it in the, I bet here's my old presentation. Oh,
The reason I asked the question about the Cape Cod Commission is we asked our administrator to look that up for us, and there was no reference to more than 10 hours on shadow flicker in the Cape Cod Commission model bylaw.
Isn't there an appendix or some kind of a technical document?
Okay. Well, if there's something that can help us be
I
more
see.
clear on that, that you could submit it.
Okay, I'll have to go look for that. I think that one time I had a document of some sort someone sent me.
All right.
Okay,
Linda, if I can follow up on Scott's question on the medical issue.
Yes.
Again, in the information that you provided us, you complained of ear pain, headaches, fatigue, and dizziness. And there may have been other things, but at least
Right.
that's what I wrote down. To follow up on the question, in seeing a medical professional, I'm assuming that you've said to them, these issues are as a result of the wind turbine. Have they supported that hypothesis of yours?
They're interested, I guess, but they don't feel they know enough to
Okay.
say that. And, I mean, many times that well, let's put it this way. I've been very careful about saving my health.
Yep.
So when I don't feel well, I leave. So I don't sit there and wait to feel worse,
Yep.
to have to go to a doctor.
Yeah.
I get myself out of off the
Sure.
property.
Did any of those medical professionals give you any recommendations?
Yeah, one of them about my ear, he said, I think, that the eustachian tube was somehow, I don't know that he ever put this in writing, but this is what he explained to me, was sucked in or something. And so he said that it might be allergies, and so he gave me prescription strength Claritin or one of those things. And I took that prescription stuff, and it really didn't address the pressure problems.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I have an appointment to go further with this, but that isn't until February, I think.
All right. Linda, on the shadow flicker,
Yes.
is there anything that you have done, obviously you can't do it really on the outside of the house, or I shouldn't say obviously, but, you know, at least on the inside of the house, have you done anything to the house to limit the impact of the flicker?
No, I mean, have I put on some kind of blackout shades or something? No.
Yeah, have you done anything at
No.
all?
Other
Are-
than to use what's there, you know. which-
Yeah, are there things that can be done?
I don't know, I've heard of an office building I've heard of that where they put, like, I guess it must like the kinds, I haven't seen it, it's hearsay, but the kinds of shades maybe they had in World War II, I don't know, some kind of shades that covered the windows completely and that then had to be subsequently taped around the side to, but it's also in my yard, and I feel in both cases it's an invasion of my.
No, I know that's your point, but I'm
Yeah.
just trying to ask.
No, it's true. I have not attempted to cover I mean, it comes through the shades that I have now.
Yeah. Are you aware of any other mitigation measures that could be, for example, undertaken at the turbine itself?
Yes, recently I went to the Wind Working Group meeting, which is sponsored, I guess, by the CEC maybe, or by UMass or something. Anyway, there was a gentleman there from Denmark, I guess, who's a consultant. And he explained that there was some sort of device that can be put onto the turbine itself, which measures when there's a certain differential, I guess, between light, strong light, less light, or whatever, and then it would turn the turbine off automatically. They didn't seem to think that other than turning it off, there was any, any mitigation.
Okay. Continuing on with the shadow flicker, I think you just mentioned earlier that you've had to leave your house in order to work.
Yes.
Can I ask you what you do for work?
Not work, I'm just talking about like this.
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
I'm
I
not
thought-
working
I
now.
thought you- okay.
I used to, but I wouldn't be able to now. But I wasn't working intensively during the time that the turbine's been up.
Okay.
But each time I've had to prepare for this, I've had to find some place to
Yep.
think.
Okay. Back to the noise for a moment. And again, trying to go over, one of the good things is we had the opportunity to go out and see shadow flicker. One of the downsides, of course, is it's been a while since we looked at the file, so I had to go through it all
Right.
again. And could you just remind me about the testing, any noise testing that has been done at your property and what the results were?
Okay, the noise testing was done by the DEP once, well, actually two days. It was done in June 2012, I think, June 5th and June 12th. And somewhere here from my previous slides, I have the results. Did you want the detailed results or the summary? Did you want?
I just wanted you to remind us when it occurred and what the results were.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a 6.6, but there was no over 10 ambient.
Right. So that's one. I was able to find the one occasion where I think it was a 6.6
Right.
dB over
Right.
ambient. Was there any other testing or just that one occasion?
There's only been that, well, there were two. There was
Two.
just the 5th and the 12th.
The 5th and the 12th?
Never tested at night.
Okay. And of those two tests, one was 6.6 dB over, and what was the other test result?
Okay. Here we are. On June 5th, there was a 5.7. 5.7 at my property, and then on the 12th, there was a 6.6.
Okay, thanks.
And what year was that, Linda?
And that was 2012.
Okay.
I think they call that the November 2012 study, because by the time they got it to the town, I guess it was November.
All right. Thanks, Linda. Those are the questions I have at the moment. Anything else from the board? Suri?
Linda, you said that you were going to submit something, and I told you not to. What was it that you were going to submit?
I was going
I
to
don't
submit the
remember.
videos. We were
I
trying to
remember we
figure a way to.
talked about devaluation and
Well, I think she
not
just
being
said there was an
part.
appraisal, or,
Yeah, there's an appraisal done. I haven't taken it the next step, I guess, and gotten, I mean, I had a casual real estate inspection, but I didn't have anything because I wasn't putting the house on the market, but I could do that.
That's the discussion that we had, that it
Right.
wasn't part. I'm sorry, I don't remember you trying to submit anything, but
No, I asked you if, I started to mention I was maybe going to, and
I
then
know
you
we
said
talked
it
about the
wasn't.
document, the court document, but I don't remember a devaluation. And I do remember the conversation we had about that not being part
Right,
of your complaint,
right.
so.
Because I had an
apologize
appraisal
if I
done,
stopped
so
you
I was
from
thinking to put the
putting-
appraisal in against the appraisal from 2010,
Okay.
but maybe that's not the comparison that you would like to see, so,
okay. Thank you.
okay.
All right. As Linda's stepping down, I did forget to, I notice for everyone that John Carlton Foss had earlier asked to video record this hearing, and I did grant him permission to do that. So just so you'll know who is videoing us. All right, Frank, did you have anything additional that you wanted to bring to the board's attention?
Mr. Chairman, Frank Duffy, Town Council. I was here at the last hearing in July, and I made some remarks to the board. My remarks tonight would be basically the same, so I don't really intend to reiterate them, but I believe I left a memorandum with the board, which is on record. Is that correct?
I believe it's in the file.
Yep.
Okay. But I just follow up on a couple of points that Mrs. Okagawa made. She cited a decision of the Superior Court, and her recollection or reference of that is essentially correct. What she is referring to, however, is an interim decision of a Superior Court judge on a motion for a preliminary injunction in the Anderson case. An interim decision is simply direction to the parties. It is not a binding judgment of the court. It has no precedential value. And in fact, we were there today on another hearing on the Anderson case, and the judge did say that, he acknowledges that is his position. He acknowledged the town has a different position, and he said maybe someone else will have to decide who's correct. So I don't think that any reference in an interim decision has any effect on the decision of this board.
Okay. Could the board ask some questions of the town through you, if they have any?
If I know the answers.
All right. Patty, any questions for Frank? Or Eladio?
Mr. Duffy, just two. Do you contest the validity of that video?
The validity of it, sir?
Yes, sir.
I believe Mrs. Okagawa represented, she made the video and presented it here tonight, and I have no reason to believe that's not true.
My other question is, if you were to wake up tomorrow morning and those conditions were at your home and property, what would be your first course of action?
My first course of action, I don't know, I think I just go about and try and get upon my business.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
David?
No questions.
Frank, just one, and it may be more to Eladio. We did continue this, again, for one of the express reasons of being able to experience the shadow flicker. And I don't know if anyone from the town has actually gone out to this property. When I looked at the minutes, it was that Eladio had stated that he had been out in the area of the property, but not on the property. Has anyone gone out since we
I've
continued?
asked him.
Yeah, so if I could do that, Eladio. No, come on up.
Eladio Gore, Building Commissioner, Town of Falmouth. And the answer is no, I have not.
Okay. Are you aware of any mitigation measures that the town could implement regarding the shadow flicker at the turbines?
Am I aware of any I'm not
Yeah,
sure I understand the
Mrs.
question.
Okagawa said that there is some device that is now being used to shut the turbines down when the flicker gets to be a problem.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
There are measures that can be done at the site, but I'm not aware of what she's referring to about the turbine.
What are those measures at the site?
Well, there are blinds, there are shades that could.
Oh,
be-
at her site,
Yes,
not at the
not
wastewater
the-
treatment
yes,
plant?
at her site.
Okay. All right. Any questions, Sari?
Nothing.
All right, thanks, Eladio, I appreciate that. Thank you, Frank. All right, we'll go to the public, and I would like to remind everyone that, and I've said this before, that this board looks at the quality of its testimony, not the quantity of its testimony. So if you're going to repeat something, think twice about it, please, because it's not a popular vote. It's based on us trying to gather information. And again, it's very specific to 821 West Falmouth Highway. So is there anyone that would like to speak in favor? Let me just tell you what speaking in favor is. That's in favor of the application, which is to find that there's a nuisance, which is actually overturning the building commissioner's decision. Mr. Funfar.
I'm Barry Funfar, 27 Ridgeview Drive, and I have been to, at Linda's invite, I have been to her house. And something I want to say about the shadow flicker, it's like one thing watching like pictures of shadow flicker. It's quite another thing to experience the wholeness of it when it's like all around you, every place you can see. It would be like trying to take a good picture of the Grand Canyon. And, but it's like, the shadow flicker is like, no matter what window you look out, there's shadow, everything is flashing. And I don't see how anyone, it might be okay for once or twice, but I couldn't live at Linda's house. I know that. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Barry.
And I also have experienced the noise there, which I'm very familiar with.
Okay. Ms. Abbott?
Jane Abbott, 207 Metoxet Road, LaPointe. I visited Linda's house yesterday, and I believe you all have visited recently for the flicker. And you know that wall of windows that she has? How could you possibly put black covering over that whole wall and live there? It would be like living in a morgue. When I was there from 7:30 to not quite half an hour, the flicker was constant. And then it sort of began to move a little away to my left. And I wouldn't want to live in those conditions.
Thank you, Jane. Yes, sir.
Dave Mount, 221 Blacksmith Shop Road. I've been hearing Linda talk about her headaches and being unable to work in her home for several years. I'm not able to think straight. I had not witnessed the flicker in her home until I visited her invitation on November 15th at about 8 a.m. At that time, the bands of flickering light were all over her house and yard, but the sun position had changed and was not visible inside her kitchen. So I went back again on the 20th of November at 7:40 a.m. and went inside. The flicker was going clearly across her table throughout her entire kitchen. The flicker was coming in through the windows facing the turbine, the side windows, and even the skylight. She has a lovely design to her kitchen. It's designed that way for her to look out at nature, to look out at the trees around. It would be a shame. It would be virtually impossible to keep that ambiance with blackout shades. But I did ask Linda to lower the shade. She has, and she did so, and it made no appreciable difference. After about 15 minutes, I began to feel uncomfortable and sick, and I told Linda that I had to leave, and I did. As I went to my car, I focused my attention just on the sound. There was traffic noise, but that was a pretty constant low rumble in the background. The rhythmic turbine noise, whoosh, 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 clearly penetrated through and was very disturbing.
Thanks, Dave.
Guys, just one question.
Question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Only 2 times out on that property?
Only
The
2
that you
times on
mentioned?
the property, although I've known Linda now for several years, and this is not a new complaint.
And
Those were excuse me.
the first time were you experiencing the sound problems with the noise?
Not as much, but I didn't focus on it. I was so overwhelmed by the sound, by the strobing light going across the entire yard. So I made a point to think about the sound when I went back, and I kind of closed my eyes and just listened.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Dave. All right, John?
Evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Board. I just have a few comments.
John Ford.
Oh, I'm sorry. John Ford, 372 Blacksmith Shop Road. I, too, was invited to Linda Ogagawa's house, and a week ago this past Saturday, November 9th, I was there from 7:16 in the morning to 7:40 in the morning, and the flicker was just overwhelming. I had to leave with a queasy stomach, a headache, and just a consuming sense of irritability. The flicker effect got progressively worse from the time I drove up her driveway till the time I was forced to leave because of how I felt. Flicker, it just cannot be imagined. It has to be experienced firsthand to really get a hold of it. After taking an aspirin and about 30 minutes after leaving Linda's home, I started to feel better. To call it a nuisance is putting it mildly. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Anyone else? Okay. Malcolm?
Malcolm Donald, Precinct 6.
Address, please.
124 Ambleside Drive,
Thank you.
1,250 feet from Win 2.
We're not interested in your property, Malcolm.
Oh, she asked me where my...
Malcolm?
Okay.
Don't
yes.
test me. Thank you.
All right. So many times since Win 2 has become operational, I've had an occasion to talk with Linda, and I can't tell you how many times she's been rattled and said that she can't concentrate and she's got to get out of here. And she's told me on a number of occasions how when she leaves the premises, her symptoms go away, and when she comes back, they reappear. And I have shadow flicker at my property, but I went over on the 11th of November to experience her shadow flicker, and whoa, it is really something the videos don't really do it justice.
Yes.
Mary Zawoski, 53 Ransom Road. I went over yesterday from 7:20 to 8 in the morning, and I had never experienced flicker other than seeing Linda's. I think she did show something last time. This time, I just cannot express how much worse it is to be there. I start feeling sick after about 10 minutes, and something about your eyes being like, it's like your pupils are going from the darkness and the light. So I just wanted to bring that out since no one else had expressed it.
Thanks. Okay.
I'm sorry, could you repeat your last name? Zawoski?
All right. Any of those that are in opposition to the application, in essence, wanting to uphold the building commissioner's determination? Okay. All right. I'm going to bring it back to the board for some discussion and see if there's any additional information the board needs, general discussion, and see where we go this evening. Want to start, David?
Sure. In particular tonight, I think everybody's focused or spoke on the shadow flicker, so, and I've been out there, I don't know, probably about 10 times, and as recent as yesterday, I was out there, knowing that the flicker starts in the morning, that's when I go out there. And I've been in, Linda was nice enough to let me in her home twice, and as many times as I wanted to, for that matter. And I did experience, seeing the shadow flicker. Probably lasted, the first time I was there, I don't know, for me it was about maybe 26 minutes on the property. Yesterday, I left and it was still going on, so and I was there, I don't know, half hour or more. But the 10 times I was out there, the noise didn't seem to affect me, and I haven't really heard anybody besides Linda touch on the noise part of it. And same with the vibrations. I didn't hear anybody mention the vibrations of, the wind turbine. So I know her complaint is for those three things. So being that I did experience the flicker, I was looking into, reading the nuisance bylaw. Excessive nuisance qualities. Yes, it does happen. It happens between October and February, as she stated, and it's in her calendar. Anywhere from, anywhere up to an hour and a half she had it documented, I guess. So, obviously when it's overcast, rainy, the sun's not out, that position's just not right, she's not gonna get that flicker effect, so. Even though it's there, for me, it's hard to say whether it's excessive nuisance. So, I guess I'll just start there for now.
Okay, Patty?
I was at Linda's house the day that, on November 8th, where when the video was taken. I do think it's pretty amazing how significant it is on her property, and yet when you're there, you can see a couple of other houses that when she's got the flicker on her property, they're completely it's not there. I mean, it's such an unusual, specific happening. I mean, when you even compare, which I just did, November 8th or as close as I could get to November 8th in 2012 versus 2013, the times are different. There's no consistency I don't see any consistency in the same date a year later, or even one day to the side, in case those were other issues impacted. I'm a bit bothered by the fact that Linda has not added like a screen over the skylight, because it definitely was coming through, the effects were increased by the skylight. And I did put the shades up and down in her house. I didn't stay the whole duration. I was there, I don't know, I was probably there about a half an hour on the 8th of November. I intended to go over there this morning because there were a lot of clouds, dark clouds on the horizon when, at 7 o'clock, so I was trying to figure out whether I thought it was happening this morning, but instead I had to go to the grocery store for reasons. So I was interested in the testimony today that some people were there this morning, and obviously there was still flicker. Obviously the wind, I believe, because when I was there on November 8th, the conditions were ideal for flicker, and it was a west wind, northwest wind, so that they were right smack, facing her house. And her notes sometimes have indicated the blades were, it must have been like a southwest wind or something, where the angle was not so, she wasn't in such direct impact. I would think that because there are not a lot of southwest winds in the winter, we're more likely to get the northwest. It is definitely worse. And more chances of getting the flicker in the winter, not only because of it's there, but we have more northwest winds. So I think it's pretty intense. But I don't know.
Okay.
Is, 4 months, is that rise to like David said, is that excessive? I don't know. It's hard to quantify it when you look at a whole year.
I have not been inside Mrs. Okagawa's house, and I don't believe I need to be inside her house. What I do have issues with, or a problem with, or maybe even a question with, I know that we had testimony earlier on that things were addressed with the information that was presented to the town, but not with flicker. My question is, why did no one from the town go to investigate the flicker on that site? To see for themselves what the effects are, to be able to quantify their opinion on it. Now, if anyone from the town, or someone they paid or appointed to go out there and get an opinion, an educated opinion or some effects, to be able to discount everyone else's testimony, would make this a lot easier to determine. But when you stand up there and you do not defend yourself, what are we to think? That's where I'm at with it.
Okay. If I can bring us back to the bylaw, section 110 again, because David started with the word excessive and it got picked up, and I want to make sure that we understand this bylaw, because it's not the standard. Standard says no use shall be permitted, and I think in that case it means allowed. No use shall be allowed, which would be offensive because of injurious or obnoxious noise, vibration, smoke, gas, fumes, odors, dust, or other objectionable features. Stop right there. later goes on to say, no permit shall be granted for any use which will prove injurious to the safety or welfare of the neighborhood into which it proposed go, and destructive of property values because of any excessive nuisance quality. The excessive nuisance quality relates to the property values. I'm going to start there, and I have to say that I don't think there was really any information. Not only was it not part of the complaint, but no information that's been before us to talk about property value. So I think we should, in my opinion, throw that out of the equation. But that's the only part that is the excessive nuisance quality. The rest is what a nuisance is. All right, let's start with the noise. I've been out to Linda's property, and she was gracious enough to, when I first went out there back in the spring, which probably would have been in early May, to allow me access at any time without having to knock on her door or identify myself. So I've been out there quite a bit. I've been out there when the leaves have been on the trees, and before the leaves were on the trees, and now since the leaves have been gone. I've been out there in the rain. I've been out there in the wind. I've been out there on a number of different occasions, with the exception of once. I must tell you that I was never bothered by the noise at all. It was very difficult for me to strain to actually hear the noise. I think once you focused on it, and I think that may also very well happen, is that once you get focused on that, it's hard to unfocus yourself. But otherwise, the traffic noise was more bothersome to me. And this is just my personal, not saying that the noise doesn't affect Mrs. Okagawa, but I perhaps didn't spend enough time to get focused on that and hear that. I said all but one occasion. On one occasion, and it was the very first time I went, and it was in May, and I will tell you that I was so distressed by this experience that I called Sari from my car to tell her about it. And I will tell you, and it's something that Linda said tonight, it was when the blades were perpendicular to the property. I was so overwhelmed by, and I give you all a lot of credit for being able to talk about this, because I don't know how you put this into words. Overwhelmed by something. I don't know whether it was pressure. I don't know what it was. But to the point that I was so distressed and sick that I called Sari from my car and I said, here's the time, here's the occasion, this is what has happened. Okay, now, maybe I've just never been back when the blades have just been at that right location. But something Patty just said, and I think it's very important, and I'll bring it forward into the shadow flicker. Patty said there's no consistency. I think that's almost more distressing. If there was consistency when you could say to yourself, on this particular day, I will be able to take care of myself and protect myself, it would be one thing, but not knowing that is another. Like David, and I appreciate, Linda, you're inviting us into your house, but that's the only way we'll be able to do it. Now, there are times that I've been outside in the property and I've seen it, but the one occasion that Linda did invite me in, and I'll share this, and Linda, I guess you put yourself out for us to talk about it because you invited us in. But to me, the shadow flicker was overwhelming. It is unbelievable for me to think that somebody might wake up in the morning and say, oh, goody, it's going to rain today. You know, we live on the Cape. We love the sunshine, all of these things. And how distressing to be looking at the weather report and saying to yourself, oh my God, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be raining, it's going to snow, whatever else. That's not what people should have in their homes. But let me share the experience with you. I'll confess to the board that, we say to ourselves all the time that each case and each property is very different and unique, and it is. I think I really had no expectations going to Linda's house. The noise was definitely not the same as the last case that we had been through. The shadow flicker is definitely not the same. It's very different every site you go. And to echo what Scott said, I guess what troubles me is that if there is a solution to this nuisance, we don't know. The town already said, I don't know of anything that could be done, and yet the town has not been to Linda's house. But let me share with you my experience, and I think I was there, Linda, from about 7 o'clock in the morning till about 8:45, because I get there kind of early. I get up early. And Linda and I, and it's a shame that we find out about our neighbors under such stressful situations, but I learned a lot about about Linda. We had a nice conversation about our educational background, about a variety of things. We talked about what normal people would do at a dining room table, and we didn't focus on the wind turbine or the flicker at all. And after about 15, 20 minutes into that conversation, Linda was agitated. Linda couldn't carry on the conversation. She could not remember where we stopped on a sentence and continued. And after a while, I couldn't either. So to think that that could happen for 40 hours in a year, X number of days between the months of October and February, I don't know. That's just not, to me, an acceptable situation. Now, the discussion about, and I asked the question, and I also had Linda pull the shades down, etc. The shades had no impact whatsoever on the shadow flicker. If anything, I thought it made it worse because it was, instead of the strobe where you could actually see the turbine, and actually Linda, the way we sat, Linda wasn't looking at the turbine, but to then have this shadow, which I thought was almost magnified by the shades being pulled down. But to think again about a cathedral ceiling, skylights, etc., and I think Jane Abbott mentioned it, that to have to encase this house in blackout shades and tape them in for when it might be shadow flicker, I just don't think is right. What do? Encase that house in blackout shades for the period October through February because it might happen? You don't dare take them down because it's a cloudy day today, but it might get sunny by tomorrow morning. I mean, it just doesn't seem like the right way to live. So, I must tell you, I didn't think that this would be as much of an issue for me. I left it on July 25th thinking, I don't know where I'm going to go with this. But it was that experience of being out there that I know that for me, it's something I wouldn't want to live by. And I think we've discussed, we've argued the case law in the past. The board's pretty familiar with it. Town council has raised those issues again. We've seen everything that's been submitted to the file. But I just want to remind you again that it's injurious, obnoxious noise, vibration, smoke, gas, fumes, odors, dust, or other objectionable features. And I certainly on one occasion found the impact of the turbine's noise or whatever else it was to be serious enough that I wouldn't want it to happen to me again by living there. And as far as the shadow flicker, I didn't expect it to be as obnoxious as it was. So.
I just think you're correlating, talking about blackout shades with tape down is not how a mitigation situation might develop. I don't like,
I just referenced to what was testified.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I think that's, I'm discounting that because maybe there is a
How would you mitigate it, Patty?
What?
How would you mitigate it?
Well, I don't know, but I think there's probably something out there that is a little bit advanced from World War II blackout shades that were done for purposes of hiding everything from the enemy.
It's like getting ready for a hurricane that you don't know when it's coming.
Yeah, so I think
So that's
there's,
not a
I
nuisance.
think you wouldn't have tape on your black shades and taped on your windows from October till February. I think they'd be, something that could go up and down depending on circumstances. I mean, I would hope they would be. I mean, I just don't like,
So,
Well,
go ahead.
go right ahead. I just want to remind the board that because it's just four of us sitting on this,
Yes.
whatever action we take is going to have to be
Yes.
unanimous.
I understand that.
So besides that one time on the noise part, that's the only time you were affected by noise?
Other than the shadow
And you were
flicker.
probably there a dozen times anyway.
Yep. The only time that I was offended by the turbines at that property was that first time in May that I went out that I called Surrey.
And I never was.
And the noise didn't bother me.
I never was either. The flicker, I was in there, I experienced that flicker also, and it does go through, obviously I wasn't in the bedrooms or whatever, but, it's an open floor plan, cathedral ceiling, so it does go through the house, everywhere I went. But I think someone testified, then it kind of wanes off into the neighbor or whatever, I don't know where it goes, but it's on our property still, but not in the home. But I didn't have that same experience as you, as I couldn't concentrate, I was reading, all these notes and studies I have on all this. Is it disruptive? Definitely. Do I wish those turbines weren't there? Absolutely, but there they are, and, here we are. But, and I don't think we're in the mitigating business, but yeah, if there was shades you can pull down that black it out, yeah, but, why should the Okagawas have to go through that?
You have to put yourself in their position. I mean, if you woke up in the morning and that's what you had to live with, what would you want done? What would you classify it as if you woke up tomorrow and that's what you had to deal with? That's how we make our decisions.
But that's my point, exactly. I was in there, I was on the property, I was dealing with that, but I was only there on the property, from May till, I think yesterday, 10 times, so I was dealing with it, so I'm having a hard time dealing with my decision. As of now, I don't feel the same as you.
Suri, did you have a question for the board?
On her total, her annotation on the flicker, are those timeframes anywhere from like 18 minutes to 105 minutes? Is that for total property, or is that strictly in the dwelling?
I think the
Property.
testimony was total property.
Total property.
And Linda is indicating yes. Hold on just a second, okay. All right. Anything else the board wants to share with each other?
Could I ask Linda a question or not?
What I was going to say is, I know Linda wants to, what I'm going to do is, you've heard the brief comments of the board, I'm going to give Linda and the town an opportunity to say anything else to us. We're going to then decide whether or not we've had enough information, we'll close the hearing, go from there. So Linda, you wanted to say something, and I know that,
I forgot what it is, but
well, Patty has a question anyway, so.
Okay.
I think the question that
Oh.
you raised your hand was it the entire property for those time periods?
Oh, yes, that's right. And, I know, I was going to say, sometimes when you see something like 18 minutes, there are clouds passing over and
No, I
you get.
understand that, yeah, I understand.
Patty, go right ahead.
But generally, it's your statement, your times represent the entire, taking account for the entire property.
They are
When you give
doing-
the duration.
Right. They are this year, they are, last year, I wasn't so tuned into record keeping. So I would write down flicker and I would write down some times, but I didn't necessarily
go
get
outside and
where,
look and-
no, I wasn't going out with I only had a cell phone then, so.
Have any of your neighbors felt?
Oh, well, my next door neighbor lives in Needham, Massachusetts, and he's
so
rarely there. I'm not even sure, maybe he experienced a little flicker because he was saying, I hope you succeed in
I
getting
noticed-
rid of it. And the next people spend a lot of time in New York. So,
Right at the bottom of your driveway, when I came out on the 8th of November, there's a house, I forget the name, and they definitely were having the
they have
flicker
it
in
too,
their,
yeah.
But they have never said anything.
I don't know, but there's somebody who
They live
testified.
there year-round, I think, the ones at the bottom, right,
Right across the
Right.
way?
right across,
From the bottom of the driveway?
yes.
Yeah, that's an older lady, I don't know. There is a lady who lives in the house on Eric Clausen Road, who testified at the hearing when the selectmen were, just prior to when they decided to take them down. She testified about how she couldn't stay in her kitchen and so forth, because she had 30 or 40 minutes of flicker. So there's yeah, it goes much beyond the area that was studied. They didn't include all the people that
Ken,
are.
I just want to bring everyone back to the fact that it's
Yes,
only
me,
821
right.
West Falmouth Highway.
And
Okay.
does anybody else who visits you during the non-flicker time have issues with affecting them? I mean, like your grandchildren or?
Right, pressure. Sometimes I think they get very irritated, they don't like the noise. I did want to comment about the noise. I have not complained, and this is what you're judging, I guess. I have not really complained about the audible noise, because that attenuates where I am. I mean, if you look at where the receptor is, let's say at the house, that sound is coming along the ground or whatever, the traffic and the things like that. But the other stuff is coming over. I don't know. It's not the audible sound that is the thing that's really distressing me. And of course, we don't have measurement at this point of the other sounds. I was attempting to get some in my bedroom, but that hasn't come to pass yet. If pressure changes. So I too don't, some days it'll be really loud and you can definitely hear it over the traffic and the wind and everything else, because it's always there in between. Every time there's a break in the traffic, but that isn't every day. Sometimes the wind is blowing the sound the other way.
Linda, how many acres is your property?
Two. We just sold off a tiny little piece, but an easement. It's 2.19 acres it was. It's a little over 2.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I think of anything else I want to say.
Frank Eladio, anything? Anything further?
Eladio Gore, Building Commissioner, Town of Falmouth. Just a couple of things. One being that I don't believe that the building commissioner's responsibility or job is to go out and determine whether he or she, whoever the commissioner is troubled by something. Because I have not experienced any of those problems at any of the sites that I've been at, and I have seen flicker from the turbines. How I personally feel, I don't believe is the determining factor that I make a judgment on something, because I may or may not feel anything. That's not what is determined. What I have to look at is, again, what are the facts? I don't question whether or not these folks experience these things or whether the flicker is troublesome to them. But if I were to simply go on that, then almost everything to someone is a nuisance, is a problem, whether it's a lawnmower or anything. So that can't be the decision, the way that I make a decision. So I have to look at facts. I look at a study. The study says we knew that there was going to be flicker. There's no question about that. The question becomes, is it a nuisance in the sense that it would require it to be shut down? One study said 26 hours, the other said 40 hours. If I look at that in terms of how many hours there are in a year, is that unreasonable? So that's all. It's a subjective decision. It doesn't require, it's not my personal opinion, because to be honest with you, there are things that my wife are troubled by that I have, doesn't bother me at all. But to say that she doesn't have that is not right. So for me to say that just because I'm not bothered by it, that it's not a nuisance, is not right. I have to look at something else. And so that's what I did. And based on that, that's the determination that I made. So I think that for the board to say that just because I didn't go to the site, that that decision is not correct. The decision is not based on how I felt going to anyone's site. I try not to do that, because if I made a decision based on just how I feel, I'd be making a lot of decisions, just on my personal opinion. I don't believe that that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be impartial. So my going there could adversely affect the decision, because I may not hear or see or feel anything. And then I just say, well, I didn't feel anything, so it can't be anything. I have to look at beyond that. What does the information that I have before me say? And then make a decision.
Leonard, just to follow up on that, though, is there shadow flicker at 821 West Falmouth Highway?
The study says, yeah.
No, do you know if there's any?
I believe, yes. I just saw it on the video. I saw it the last time. So I never questioned whether there was flicker there.
But if you went out to a gas station to see whether or not there was too many unregistered cars on the property in violation of the zoning bylaw, wouldn't you have to go out to the site and look at it? Or would you read a study?
That's a different matter. We have already established there was no question that there was flicker. That's the issue that I'm saying.
The
There's no
town has
question.
never questioned that there is flicker?
The town has acknowledged that there would be flicker.
Okay.
There's no, I'm not disputing whether there's flicker there at that site. The study said that there would be flicker.
Okay, great. So it's this board then that has to take, absolutely, and that's what we're here for. Okay.
No, on the flicker, the study said not there would be, that there is flicker, because it
Yes,
was a
absolutely. Yes.
post-turbine study.
Right.
Can I just follow up
Sure.
on one thing I forgot to ask you? I was reading the minutes, and you said that it was your determination per the study available to you, the flicker was in short durations, you had not been affected by the experience with the flicker, and you do not use personal opinion, you use data, correct? You just said that again. But then, as I was reading further into the minutes, Chairman McNamara asked about the shadow flicker, whether it was objectionable feature or not, and you said it's very subjective. You didn't find it objectionable because you didn't experience it. Aren't you saying two things there?
I don't believe that that's what I said, or certainly not what I meant.
But I looked in my notes and it was similar to that, so. In one way, you were saying you just used the data, but then, a few questions later, it was like, if I don't experience, I don't.
What I'm saying is that if I made a decision on how I was affected by that, I haven't been affected by any of it. So I try not to use that as the only determining factor as to whether or not something is objectionable. The study showed that there is going to be flicker. There's no question about that, and I'm not questioning that. I certainly haven't questioned that with anybody.
May I ask a question? David, you all set?
Yeah.
Is he finished? Did you finish the other? Thanks, go ahead.
How could you make a decision, Mr. Gore, if you haven't been there?
The decision on what, whether there's
You just
flicker?
said how could I be affected if I wasn't there? Well, then how would you know if you weren't there?
But I have experienced the flicker from the turbines. It's not just at her site. There's flicker from the turbines at other
But we're
sites.
talking about this site.
And what I'm saying to you is the question is not whether or not there's flicker.
No.
And my going there would only say whether or not I was affected by the flicker. And I'm not going to make a decision simply because I either was or wasn't affected by the flicker.
How many complaints just in this specific case did your office receive, Mr. Gore?
I don't remember for sure.
20, 30?
On which case?
This one here,
At that site?
yes.
No. I'm not aware of 20 complaints, no.
I'm just asking what the number was, if you were aware what the number was.
I don't.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'm all set.
Linda, substantial new information?
I just wanted to reiterate that there are a lot of definitions of what is excessive for flicker out there. The wind turbine health panel looked and they found that there were a lot of foreign countries and so forth that all have limit, they state in there that 30 hours or sometimes 10 hours and 30 minutes pretty definitely is excessive. I mean, that's a standard that says, and that's per year, so per incident per year. So I just want to make note of the fact that there are standards out there that do take account of the fact that the flicker is maybe not there every single month or every single day, but they have standards for what's acceptable for the year. So, that's all.
Okay. The board have enough information to make its decision?
I think so. Make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion to close the hearing. Mr. Haddad, seconded by Mr. Zelinski. All those in favor of closing this hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous vote. Okay. What action would the board like to take?
Can have more time. No, no.
Well-
Just close the hearing.
I know the hearing has been closed.
I mean, your options are to act on it. You can take it under advisement. I don't know what the time period is on this, Sarit, do you?
She gave us until December 5th, and I have to have the decision done within that time.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I honestly don't know how much more
Yeah.
we can, we've had an opportunity to deliberate on it. We're, my feeling is we need to move on, whatever it is with the board that wants to do.
You all set?
Whatever the board wants to do.
I'll make a motion to overturn the building commissioner's decision on this, on 33-13.
Okay, so in favor of the application.
Yep.
All right, is there a second? Okay, that motion's not going to go anywhere, because even if I were to second it, we're not going to get anywhere with that. Okay, is there any other motion before the board?
I'm going to make a motion to uphold the building commissioner's determination.
To deny the application and uphold the building commissioner. Is there a second for that? Okay.
It's got to be one or the other.
Well, the
Let's
reality
reevaluate.
is, it doesn't. I mean, there is no approval for the application, so in essence, it would be a denial. Okay, last chance?
Well, wait a second. No, I was just trying to think of another alternative.
Anybody else want to make a motion?
We had a motion in favor of the application. It didn't go anywhere. We have a motion to overturn the application,
No second at all.
and there's no
Well, I'll
second.
make a motion to overturn the building commissioner.
I already made that motion.
Well, we can make it again, can't we?
Okay. So
And
is
I'll
there a
second
second?
it.
All right.
Okay. We have a motion in favor of the application to overturn the building commissioner, and there is a second. Any further discussion? The one thing I just want to say on this is that, when David asked me about, it was the one occasion, I guess to me, I happened to be there at that right time. The likelihood of it happening on many times exists, so, but, all right.
You want some discussion on that?
Sure.
I don't think Linda was sure whether it was, because now we're just talking flicker, because that's all anybody ever experienced, really.
Well,
I mean, besides that one time with the noise.
Which I'm just saying is the likelihood of that happening again, I think is significant.
Likely, because you don't live there, so.
Right, it happened to be that one time that it was aligned in a way that it bothered me. But could it happen a number of times? Sure.
I didn't like that flicker either when I was in there, I wouldn't want to deal with that. But it didn't bother me to the extent that it bothered Linda or maybe, some of the other people we heard from. And I think Mr. Duffy said it, the last hearing. Is it annoying? He said it was annoying, disruptive, but obnoxious, all those things, I don't think so. Because it didn't affect me.
How about offensive?
What'd you ask?
How about offensive? Or how about the word objectionable? You said you didn't like it. Is that objectionable?
You've been there 12 times, David. You know what's
I
in
said
your
it was
heart to
10.
vote this. I mean, whatever you think, and just because you're the odd vote, you still got to vote
No, I'm not worried
what you
about
think.
that.
You still got to vote the way you feel.
I'm just trying to pin everybody down on
Yeah, but
the
don't feel
shadow
that
flicker.
pressure. You got to do what you got to do.
I just said I didn't feel any pressure out there.
Well, I feel it for you.
Anything else?
No?
Okay. We have a motion and a second in favor of the application to overturn the building commission. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion fails. Thank you all very much for coming out and working with us on that application. We're going to take just a few minutes in recess, and we'll be back. Okay, thank you very much for bearing with us with that. Brief pause. All right, next on our agenda is application 95-13, Thomas Duggan. I will ask the clerk to read it into the record, and then Tom is going to come up.
Set. Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Law, you are hereby notified that Thomas Duggan of Canton, Mass. applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals pursuant to Sections 240-3 for a special permit to add a half-story to a pre-existing non-conforming detached garage to be used as a game/rec room on a residential C-zone parcel known as 11 Rock Street in North Falmouth.
Hi, Mr. Duggan, how are you?
Good evening.
If you just introduce yourself, because you're on television. and
Yes,
then we'll go from
I'm
there.
Tom Duggan. I live at 11 Rock Street with my wife Catherine.
Just tell us what you're about
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, I bought the property in 1997, and at that time I had 2 children, and there was no Xbox, there was no PlayStation, and there was no HD TV, so now I have 4 children, and all the aforementioned things are here, PlayStation.
That's not what you want us to deal with, though, the number of kids, right?
No, not the number of kids.
Or the Xboxes.
That's my fault.
You only had the Xbox.
The Xbox and the HD TV are here, though, and,
Sorry for
yeah,
that.
I'm looking for a little more space for my kids to play.
Okay.
So I want to add a half story to the garage as shown. It's going to be about 2.5 feet taller than it exists right now. It's already got power out there, it's got sewer, it's got water. I submitted letters from my immediate abutters to the left, to the right, and across the street in support. And that's about it. I'll answer any questions.
Yeah, we'll help you through it. We're going to ask the clerk to review comments from the various departments in town.
Okay.
And review any correspondence in the
Thank you.
file, okay?
Siri, there's a referral to Jerry referencing a possible 4th bedroom.
His referral is in there.
Health Department, this property is in the New Silver Beach Sewer District and is limited to a 3-bedroom. The existing number. Building, no comment. Historical, no comment. Design review. This project will need a variance by the selectmen if a bedroom is being added beyond that allowed the right, section 180-46. In addition, the application for sewer modification will need to be submitted to the DPW, wastewater division. If a wastewater flow will be increased, and if a new or modified connection from the lot to the town sewer is proposed, section 180-40 and 180-7.
Can I interrupt you just for a
wastewater.
second? Yeah. Who signed that?
Jerry,
Thomas. All right, that's not design review, it would be the wastewater.
That's wastewater.
did I say design review?
Yeah.
Sorry. Planning, no comment. Water, no comment. Concom. No filing with Concon to date. Project located in a velocity zone. May require additional structural support for second floor. Will dictate Concom's filing. Then there's a picture, an overhead picture. And then there's the resident letters that the applicant referred to in the file, and some general correspondence.
No, I think what we'll do is we'll just jump into asking you some questions, okay,
Sure.
Tom? All right, Scott, do you want to start for us?
Sure. What is under, what is the base structure of that garage? Is it a monolithic pour with the floor encompassed in it? Is there courses of block? Is it-
Yeah, it's a 4-foot frost wall.
It's
It's a
full
foundation, yeah, with a 4-foot
Poured
frost wall.
foundation,
Yes, block foundation,
okay.
and a poured concrete slab.
And the core openings, have they been filled, or are those still open?
Yeah, they're filled,
They're filled,
yes.
okay. That's all I had. Yes, sir?
David?
Year-round resident there?
No, summer resident.
Summer resident. Is that gonna be heated, that game room?
No,
No heat in the game room?
no.
And, I was just curious about, I was looking at, the bathroom area. If it was a game room, why did you think you needed a shower in there? What was the reason behind that?
No, just, I mean, you can take the shower out if you want, I don't need the shower, but, there was.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, there was room for it, I got, 6 people living in the houses, so, it wouldn't be bad to have another place to take a shower.
And how many do you have in the existing? It's a 3-bedroom. It's gonna stay a 3-bedroom,
Yes,
obviously. But,
correct.
how many bathrooms inside?
2.5,
2.5, not
Yep.
including this one?
correct.
Okay. And you have any plans for another structure or shed on your property?
No,
You have plenty of storage now. Well, not plenty, but adequate.
yeah, adequate, yeah,
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
yep.
Patty?
When do you think that garage was built?
When?
When? Do you have any history?
I do not, I think it's all pre-existing non-conforming, but no, I do not know.
The assessor's records show it since 1959.
I don't know, I asked. And there are just 3 bedrooms in the house?
That's correct,
And there's a bathroom in the garage now?
yes,
And you have an outdoor shower somewhere?
yeah, there's,
Right by the garage?
there's an outdoor shower on the deck.
On the back, yeah. You think the structure will be, meet standards of the velocity zone to be added, to the second floor added to that garage structure?
Yes, the architect designed it within the velocity zone.
Okay, with all the
Yes.
wind, or whatever they are?
Yes, ma'am. He's designed a few structures in the new Silver Beach area and Wild Harbor Estates, and so he knows the zone, and he knows.
The architect's on here?
Mikkel, MZO,
Yeah, MZO.
he's done a few things in Wild Harbor Estates, so he's aware.
So has the building commissioner reviewed these plans at all? I mean, to make sure that they do meet the standards of the,
The building commissioner actually worked with me and the architect to
so you're pretty sure that it's going to work? That your plans are going to be approved and meet the standards?
yes, assuming I get the special permit, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, Mark? I'm done. Oh, I'm not really, but.
Mark, you can go ahead.
If Patty said it's okay.
It's okay. I'm done. I don't have any more questions right now. I reserve the right for a few.
Just to,
Yeah.
the game room is not going to be heated.
No,
The bathroom, the associated bathroom on that floor, that'll be heated?
I'll probably have a strip of electric base in there. And I have heat in the house, but I hardly ever use it. I winterize it, during, when I'm not there in the winter.
In the house, in the main house?
Correct, yeah, in the garage as well, yeah.
The other concern would be the referral from Jerry Patamus with regard to a sewer modification application. Is there one necessary?
No, no, there's sewer connected to the garage and the house.
Okay, and then so with an additional, I mean, this is an area I'm unfamiliar with, so I'm just asking you to bear with me. With that additional bathroom, does that cause any sort of concern with regard to flow into the new Silver sewer district?
It's based on bedrooms.
Yeah, believe it or not,
Based
yeah.
on bedrooms.
Yeah,
not
bathrooms
on
don't count,
bathrooms.
yeah.
Okay. And so the intent, obviously, from the plan is, it'll always be a game room, or I should say, it'll never be unless you receive other permitting, it'll never be a bedroom.
Correct.
That's all I have for now.
Madam Chair, could I ask a question? Only kidding.
Tom, go ahead.
Only kidding. Tom, did I understand you correctly to say that there's already a bathroom in the garage?
Correct.
Where? I don't see that on the plans.
It's, well, it's the remnants of a bathroom. The sewer connection's there, the water's there, and there was a shower there when I bought the property. You know, the shower, I took apart, you know, because it was in rough shape, but all the utility connections are there for it.
Whereabouts, Tom? I'm looking at the plan.
It's
that
in the,
shows
It's in the back.
There's stairs at the back that I imagine went to storage or loft area or
Mhm.
above, but I just don't know where the bathroom is.
It's coming in between the house and the garage. As you're coming in the front of the garage to the right, all the way in the right rear corner. That's where the bathroom, the sewer comes in and the plumbing connections come in.
But it's a detached garage, so it's...
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So right by that window is,
Yes.
I saw that,
Yeah.
but I don't see where the bathroom was in the existing garage.
I guess he's staying right here.
Yeah, I assume that would be the only place.
That's where it is. I'm not sure the type is.
Tom, the definition of a bedroom
Yeah.
is such that what's here qualifies as a bedroom. How do you assure this board it's not going to be a bedroom?
That's a question I have for the board. I mean, I spoke to Sari about it. She suggested potentially taking a door out, the doorway, or a door out that leads to the room on top. I mean, I'm willing to work
I know you are, but
with you.
we're not,
Yeah. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't know, you know, what your definition of a bedroom is or what constitutes a bedroom, so, I mean, you know,
well, Sari can help us on that. It's certain square
It's-
footage and
with
privacy.
construction, it's 7'3" ceiling height. It's electricity, ventilation as in window, and square feet of 70 feet or more. That's CMR regulations of a bedroom. You don't have to have a closet in a bedroom.
But there has to be privacy.
Privacy, correct.
Right.
Well, CMRs don't specifically say privacy, but when you put a door on there, it's definitely private.
Right.
So, and it's like a bedroom in a house, you have
Right.
that privacy, and that's what the Board of Health goes by.
So,
But the fact that he's not going to have any heat, this board can deed restrict it to
Right.
state that because of the wastewater regulations. Those are a few other things besides taking out that privacy door, because I'm not familiar with the 8th edition of the building code.
well, I guess that's the worrisome part I have, is that if this board said you can have the permit if you don't put the privacy door in, but if that's required by the building code, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And fire code.
Right, because it is a garage, and I'm not a builder, I'm not familiar with the code, but I know when I built my garage with the second floor, I had to have a fire door because it was in the garage, and I don't think I have the right to take it off.
Was that attached to the house, though?
No.
No.
Oh, well.
No. So I don't want to impose something on you that you're not going to be able to do. Do you see what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
So, you know, I guess I'll run through the questions. Do you plan on using a pull-out couch for sleeping accommodations?
No,
Okay. You don't plan on having a bed in there?
no,
You don't plan on having, or I shouldn't say don't. Do you plan on having a kitchenette out there?
no, absolutely
Okay.
not.
And you already said that you'd be willing to take the shower out, just leave the toilet and sink. But did I hear you say you would put heating in the bathroom?
A strip of electric base in the bathroom,
Okay.
yes.
And why if it's only for summer use?
Well, sometimes we get on in, you know, April vacation,
Okay.
you know, and sometimes we, you know, get on in October where you know, you need heat in the bathroom.
Okay,
you know.
okay. Don't know what else I can ask. All right.
Can I ask one more
Yep.
thing, if you
Go
don't mind? Just getting
Ask
back
Patty.
to, no, you don't mind, Patty, do you?
No, I give you permission.
Thank you.
Sorry, it's inside.
The existing garage, that bathroom that you said's there now.
Yeah.
Is it just, you said it's remnants of a bathroom, so there isn't anything in there?
No, well, the water, the hot and cold water's there,
And the
and then
drain.
the sewer connection's there, and the
Just
vent.
drains and
Just the stub
piping?
out, right?
And the vent pipe, yes, yeah.
But there's not a toilet, sink,
No,
that sort
no,
of thing?
no, that's all, that's gone.
So you don't mind, so you wouldn't be opposed to not having any bathroom there and just using this one in that garage?
Oh, correct, yeah, I don't intend to.
Utilize
no,
that,
No,
okay.
that's, no.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Anyone have an interest in this application in terms of testifying? Okay. All right. Just a couple of quick comments before we close it. I think the bugaboo is the extra bedroom, and that you just can't do it because of the sewer regulations. I think if we were to say, remove the privacy door if allowed to by code, you're saying no need to do
No,
that?
no, I think it's easier because there is not going to be any heat, that the board possibly asks for a covenant being filed stating.
And what's the ceiling height to this?
7.3 for new constructions.
And what is the ceiling height in this?
What's the ceiling height there?
He hasn't constructed it yet.
No, but what's the plan for it?
I believe it's,
It has to be 7.3.
I believe it's 7.3, yeah, 7.3 or above.
So
yeah.
it is habitable space,
Right.
Yeah.
and therefore it would
I
qualify.
suggest a restricted covenant that he states it will
And
not
and
ever
the
be.
findings, no use as a bedroom.
Right. No sleeping accommodations.
No kitchen.
And you can cite the wastewater
Yeah.
regulations that this is limited to 3 bedrooms. The subject property is limited to 3 bedrooms.
Okay. Does anyone have any, yeah, Patty?
What is the top height of the garage?
The peak of the garage right now, about
No.
50,
What will it be?
What will it be?
it'll be under 18 feet.
I think it's 17.9 or 11. Just one-
Max, the plan says max of 18.
And it's 15 now.
It's going up about 2.5 feet, so it'll be like 17.6.
We scaled it. I think it's
Yeah.
approximately
I just wanted to
17.9,
make sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And we have nothing to do with the structural engineer, that goes through downstairs, right?
Right, and I think the question was already asked if it, you know, could be done, so,
Right.
because,
So that was my only concern.
yeah. But just a quick comment, I think, on that point, that if you were to find out that it structurally is not able to be built up, just don't go do it on your own. You're going to have to come back to this board for a modification.
I understand.
Okay.
The architect's gone down there to check it out.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to close the hearing then.
sounds good.
I'll double that up.
All right, Mr. Haddad, Mr. Zelinski, all those in favor of closing the hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Okay, what would the board like to do with this application?
Make a motion, we approve the application.
Okay,
I'll second Mrs. Johnson's motion.
Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Zelinski, We have a motion to approve. What are the findings that we would find appropriate to support this motion, and then we'll go into the conditions?
The game room not heated.
Project to remain 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
Okay, that's a condition, so we're gonna look at the findings.
Oh, we're going back?
Well, we've been doing that lately.
3 bedrooms per wastewater is a good finding.
Yeah, the wastewater regulations, limiting the house to the 3 bedrooms, I think is an important one. The testimony that it will not be used as a bedroom or for sleeping accommodations, finding that the testimony, no kitchen.
Solution of the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah, the elimination of the bathroom on the first floor.
No bathroom on the first
Of the
floor, right. A
lower
finding
level.
that the applicant was willing to eliminate the shower. There was a couple of other findings along the way
Based on,
here.
design review approval.
There is no design review. Scott had
Oh,
read
it's
the
not- yeah.
wastewater instead
I
of.
thought they had combined the departments today, but,
How about that, is the 3 immediate abutters,
What about,
approval.
they're
no. Butters don't approve decisions.
not approved.
They had sent
Supported.
letters.
In support.
Okay. The,
It's a finding.
that there are no increases in nonconformities on the property, and all of our typical 216.
216.
Okay, so that's how we get to making the decision. All right, what are the conditions that you'd like to impose upon it?
Unfortunately, we can't use in keeping with the neighborhood because it's probably one of the only detached garages in the whole neighborhood, so we
That's
can't use
correct.
that.
Right, no, but,
We'll
so
worry
we're on to
about it.
conditions, so per plans,
Per plan.
okay?
Her plans with the elimination of the
Elimination of the shower.
With the elimination of the shower,
bathroom with the tub shower.
okay?
Yeah.
The shower you're talking about is the one on the first floor.
Nope, that bathroom is gone.
I know.
Eliminating the shower on the second floor, it would just be a toilet and a sink. We
But
just did
that
the
would be a
finding that the
condition
applicant-
that he not use the lower garage bathroom.
Right. Eliminate the bathroom, the existing bathroom on the first floor. The second floor bathroom would be limited to a toilet and a sink.
Not to
No
be
heat
used-
except for limited heating in the bathroom itself.
I'm sorry?
No heating, no heat in the garage except for limited heating in the bathroom only.
Why did we take out the shower? I mean, why did you want to make that?
Because he agreed, the applicant agreed to doing that, and it becomes less likely to be a bedroom. It was based on David's question in terms of what the need for the shower was.
If the garage needs to be raised, come back before this board.
Well, any modification.
Or any
Yeah. But let's make sure we have all of the conditions.
Property to only
And
be
the
a
other
three-bedroom.
is the covenant that Sari
What under
had.
the covenant?
This would be something that you'll record at the Registry of Deeds, saying that it'll be a 3-bedroom house max on the property.
Right.
And that's the other
No
condition.
bedroom or sleeping in garage.
Right. Okay.
Would the finding be that, Tom mentioned that, being that he's given up that storage up in the garage, he didn't see a need for an accessory structure?
Say that again?
Can't, that'll be.
I mean, how can
cutting
you-
them off.
This is an accessory structure. I don't.
I mean, in addition.
You mean like a shed?
that sort of stuff.
That was a good point. I think a finding that the applicant indicated that there would be no additional structures on the property.
But is that a good finding, though? I mean,
Yes.
in the
'Cause he's-
future, he may want to pursue that.
And he can modify the application.
You would have to, I think, based on luck.
He can modify the permit. That's just a finding that,
That's true.
okay? All right, I think that covers it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Thanks for waiting with us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for pulling together a nice application.
I was just asking how his mother is.
Okay. Our next application is 9913 Min Leith, 352 Main Street. I'm going to
Everything? Sorry.
ask the clerk to read that into the record first.
set?
Yep.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you are hereby notified that Min Lee of Falmouth, Mass. applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals pursuant to Section 240-3 to modify special permit number 46-02 to add tables with seating at Min's Kitchen at 352 Main Street, number 3, Falmouth, Mass.
Good evening.
Good, how are you?
Good.
My name is Jay Lee. I live in 40 Ambatz Ave. Here to ask for approval from community for 3 tables and 4 chairs. 4 chairs on each table for Min's Kitchen. Thank you.
All right. We're going to review information in the file, then we'll ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
Health Department said they're on town sewer.
I would.
From Tim Smith to Suri. Good afternoon, Suri. I spoke to
Just right from here, okay, because that's on a different project.
regarding Min's Restaurant. Again, no objections as long as the seating capacity is less than 50 persons. Otherwise, anything above that will trigger more scrutiny from both the fire department and the building department. Lastly, no object.
That's it. Next one was another application.
Okay.
One memo, 3
Building,
applications.
Yeah, that's
no
nice.
comment. Planning, no comment.
Thank you. And no corrections.
We're all set.
Okay. Mark, do you want to start us out?
The concerning thing that I have, that I'm...
Just the questions first, okay? Rather than your concerns.
Okay.
Thank you.
How many parking spots are allocated to the restaurant currently?
There is plenty parking, for us to share for every business. No, the only thing is at the evening time, most of it, the bank, the Pie at a Mall and the jewelry store, they all close by like around 5 or 6. So, and that's why, so we have a plenty parking to share at this time. There's always be empty. There's reason, we have a plenty parking, so why we can't have, like few tables and few chairs?
We haven't said you couldn't yet.
Yeah.
Just a simple question in terms of, do you know how many, I think if I can
I
interpret.
think it's maybe like 46.
Are there any
for the whole-
assigned specifically to you as a tenant?
No, just the bank around the corner area, like they have like a 3, parking just for the bank. But usually normal time, maybe in the morning, probably like, the parking lot was a lot of people. But after like 4 or 5, the parking will be like empty. There's more parking that we can share for everybody. Even like people from the school, sometimes they have a meeting, they still use that parking as for, for the meeting too. Right now, also they added a lot of street parking for the town. There's a lot of parking for everybody to share evening time. Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead, Mark.
So, just so I'm clear on this, there's no designated parking spot for Mim's Kitchen? It's all shared?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask Suri.
Sure.
Is there an allocation of parking to,
Not any
on
of those-
record?
Not any of those commercial spaces
have designated allocated parking? Okay, that's my only question.
Okay, David?
So you only ask it for 3 tables, 4 seats per table, so 12 seats.
Yes,
And that's
sir.
something, I've been in there, that's something you've been doing now since you've probably been in business, correct?
Yeah, that would be
And-
like 10 years, since 2003. We have a lot of people, there's no problem with it, just because sometimes the people come in order, they need to sit down and wait for the order. So, like sometime, people they have a lunch because they want to have lunch over here, then they can
No, I
go
understand.
to work. So,
And have your hours changed? It's still, what, 9 to, what are the business
which
hours?
will be like from 11 to 10, Monday to Thursday. And just the Friday and Saturday will be 11 to 11. And Sunday, 12 to 10.
All right. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Patty?
I don't have any questions.
Scott?
No plans for any displays or any other items that are for sale in the dining area in the future?
I think we just only have a sodas and juice and stuff.
That's
like that.
behind,
That's
that's behind, correct?
Actually, that was in the dining room, right in front of the corner area,
Right.
right across from the corner.
Okay, and this one table that's close to the door, have you been using it there right along?
The one table close by the door close by the refrigerator area, that actually is for people to put the appetizing stuff. You know, they have some newspaper and some people put like auto sale books, the magazine.
No, sir, I'm talking about the round table on
Oh,
your
the round
plan.
table, yeah, the round
Right here.
table, which is, sometime we gonna have a lunch or dinner for the employee, our family. That's why, so we have that table over there, just because a square table, which is not enough, actually, for us
I think you're
to sit down and eat.
Just hold on one second, bro.
Yes, sir.
How many tables are in all total, square and round tables? How many are in the dining room when you set up? Because right here on this
Yeah.
here, you only show 3 tables.
And that's what he's asking for.
And how many more, you're talking about square tables that aren't on here.
Uh-huh.
So how many tables do you think you're gonna have total in excess of this? None, right?
Just 3 tables.
Okay,
For right
that's-
now.
okay, good.
We asked for.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I don't have any questions at all either. Suri, do you have any?
No, I don't have any. I will let the board know that if you approve this,
Yeah.
a condition would be that the building department approve this for occupancy, just like, the fire department basically already said up to 50 seats. But occupancy is based on freestanding area, tables, chairs, so, and the building department helped him with this plan,
Right.
or the zoning enforcement agent, sorry.
Right.
I recognize those circles.
All right. Did you want anything to add?
No.
Okay, thank you.
He's here to
I knew that, but I just didn't know whether while he was here, and I appreciate that. All right, any additional questions?
I make a motion to close the hearing.
All right.
I'll second Mr. Haddad's motion.
All right. Mr. Haddad, Mr. Zelinski, all those in favor of closing this hearing, say aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. The board action?
I'll make a motion to approve application 99-13.
Again, I'll second Mr. Haddad's motion.
Okay. I think this one, quite frankly, makes a lot more sense to do the conditions first. So it would be, subject to the building commissioner's approval, a maximum of 12 seats. Okay? I think that's all we're talking. There are no other changes.
No.
Okay? So I think the finding would be that there is adequate parking in that plaza.
And it is in keeping because the restaurant next door has almost the same setup as he's proposing.
Well,
Similar.
yeah.
There's adequate public
Yes.
parking as well.
Yeah, that's right, and sufficient public parking in the area. There was something else I thought of before you said that.
Sorry.
That's all right. And there, I think it's an important finding that there were no objections from landlord or other tenants of that
Or
plaza.
certainly patrons.
Right, okay. And I think the other thing too is, this really doesn't change anything that in practice has been ongoing, but it
Right.
does modify the existing special permit
Yes.
to satisfy the requirements.
And he's been there 10 years.
years.
Right.
A long
Okay.
time.
So, sorry to do it backwards this time, and now that Mr. Foreman's not here, we should have done it backward anyway, because he's the only one that wants that, but, okay,
So those hours,
there's no change.
No change.
no change?
There's not
You
been
don't
an
need to
ask
do
for a
anything
change.
Okay, great.
Okay. So, all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Thank you very much
luck.
for waiting as long as you did for us to get to the application.
Do they have to wait until you hear approval from the building?
Ours is subject to the building commissioner's approval of the 12 seats.
So
I draft the decision, they sign it, there's a 20-day appeal period.
okay,
I will be in touch with,
in about 20 days they'll receive something.
You'll get it probably quicker than that.
you'll get the paperwork quicker, but there is a 20-day appeal period after that. But he can certainly work with the building department to ensure that the 12 seats will be okay.
Right.
Okay.
I think it also would be important to come back and talk to the zoning administrator, because to make sure you understand the requirements of filing this in the registry of deeds and all of the things that are necessary for you to take. Okay, so just check with Suresh.
That's the first step.
Yep. It's the
big
biggest.
step.
It's
The
a
biggest,
leap.
and we would think most important, but that's just us. All right. Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. All right, we have some minutes.
We do.
I make a motion, we
I assume everyone's had the
Accept.
opportunity to review the November 7th
accept the
minutes.
minutes of November 7th, 2013.
Well, it took me a while to
I'll
figure
second
them out.
Patty's motion.
Okay. So,
Make sure
we have a motion to, this is the,
I wasn't on this one.
okay, so you still sign it as,
Yep.
Those are the November 7th minutes.
Yep, I just wanted to look at what they were there, because I
made all your changes.
right, but I will not be able to vote on anything but the Hamilton
Correct.
case and the Cuddy case, so I just want that to be recorded in the vote. Scott will not be able to be on
The
the
Hamilton.
Hamilton, but he was on the others. So with those caveats, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous vote. Okay. All right. Administrative determination, this is, again, Sari can go over it. This is, again, where the board has reserved to itself the
Right.
determination of what is de
I
minimis.
can't determine this.
And neither can the building commissioner.
Right. This is an existing lot that has a chimney. And it used to be in the 6th edition that was exempt from the setback. But remember, the revisions of the building code took out porches, chimneys, and they said they were going to put it back in the 8th edition, but they haven't. So I'm asking the board to declare this de minimis at 9.9.
I make a motion, we declare this de minimis.
I'll second.
You want us to use the word de minimis?
It has to be.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's Patty and Mark. And just one quick comment on that. We've reserved it because every place is different. And this is a fairly sizable lot, I mean, in the scope of things, 7,600 square feet. So, .1 is insignificant. So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous vote. Okay, Mendoza's going to be put off to another time. The update on whether or not we yet have an attorney in the Anderson matter. Sari, do you have anything, there was language,
Excuse me, Patty, it's East Falmouth, I'm sorry. I'm sorry?
anything additional on on our not having a lawyer yet? I know that the town manager's office
Town
had
manager-
modified the
Town
language.
manager, Mark Bobrowski had signed it, and I had submitted it to town manager. He added additional language after Attorney Bobrowski signed it, so I sent it back to Attorney Browski, asking him if he's okay with it to initial it. I did that Monday, because I had just received it, and I emailed Mark this morning and asked him if he was okay with it, and I have not heard from him.
So as of this date, we still don't have a lawyer.
So what happens if the case gets finished before we even have a lawyer?
That we won't spend the
We won't spend the money.
$5,000 we were generously allotted.
Pitiful.
Which, we may still get a bill from Mark because he has reviewed.
He keeps on having to review the contract.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange that Mark sent something signed, but then it got changed, signed. Is that common? I don't know. I'm not an attorney. That's why I guess I need one to represent me.
No, I think it was just done,
Without legal
Without-
advice.
Oh, okay, I
yeah,
got you.
he probably didn't discuss
Okay,
it
then
with Frank.
scratch that last question.
Well, but the part I would support is that you probably do need a lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it on that. The next is, last time we got together, and I wasn't here for this, but I was delighted to see that the board liked last year's workshop
Oh, it was all
enough.
about the food, Matt.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, and that you want to repeat it, because it was something that Suri and I put together, hoping that it
was
would be
great.
beneficial, so.
I gotta tell you, that's what they talked about, Ken Foreman. It was about the food.
Maybe we can get him to come to that.
So, in any event,
The food was
we did it last year in January.
We did it on the 5th, I believe, but I'm
No, I
asking
thought
the
we had
board to-
changed it because somebody couldn't make it, and you did it on my birthday.
Oh, that's right, I apologize.
Yeah, that's why you brought that delicious bowl of fruit.
Well, that and the selfish part, that's all I can eat. But, so, do we have any tentative dates that work for the board? We looked at a Saturday because that made sense.
The 18th is what I'm looking for, if that's possible.
The
And
8th,
I did check with Member Foreman, and he thought that was okay with him.
It's going to be on a
I'll-
Saturday, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna throw out something that, I don't know what week it is this winter, that I'm probably going to the Philippines for a week to.
Get that crazy
to train.
tattoo.
So I don't know, because of what happened just recently there, I don't know what the schedule is, but I'm just tentatively just warning you.
Okay. Well, I think what we did last year is somebody had a problem at the last minute. I think it might have been Tricia, I don't remember. And we sort of tried to accommodate that because it's really critical that all of us, do
Yeah.
get together. So why don't we focus for the 18th, and we'll refine it as we get closer to that time period. You'll know a little bit better, we'll
Yes, sir.
all know. But at least so we all have a target of the 18th, a
It's a 3-day
Saturday.
weekend.
Yeah, and I think what was that?
It's a 3-day weekend, you might.
Oh, so,
Oh, Martin Luther King, yeah.
yeah, so I don't know whether people might plan to go away. Was the 11th a problem, Suri?
I don't remember quite.
I think that's a good point, Patty, because a lot of
Yeah, I
people
think
may
11th
tend to
is
want to go
better.
away, yeah.
So you want to,
Either the 11th or the 25th. Okay?
I'll check.
180,000 on it.
What time was it? 9 o'clock?
heard
When
it.
did we start that?
We started at 9 or 10, I can't remember. I think it was 9 o'clock. 9 to noon is what we
9
shot
to
for.
noon, yeah.
Noon is
It's a war horse.
So we'll try the 11th?
Yep.
Yeah.
The 11th, try the 11th.
Yeah.
And was the water department okay, or did
It was
you want to
perfect.
Yeah, it was
I thought that was a
do it
perfect,
even
anywhere
better.
else? Okay.
perfect location.
So for my own edification, is there agenda associated with this, or what?
No, I just tell
talking
you all
points
what I
are?
think of.
The new guy has to clean up, but that's the only thing.
I don't mind that.
Oh, well, as long as I just want
I
to.
just want to know what to talk about.
I'll send something out to get everyone on the same
Yeah.
page.
There are some issues that have come up during the year, and we try to focus on them, and we talk about how the board may improve themselves, or
I
any
mean-
issues that you may have with me.
Well, I think in many ways, if I were to put a phrase around it, it was somewhat of a self-evaluation.
Correct.
Because I think every board and commission probably, in fact, we were complimented quite a bit about the fact that we were the only board that did this, but I think it's important to talk about, our mission statement, how we're affecting it, how each of us, and I think it was, everyone put it on the table.
Any goals?
Yeah, goals,
So
how
the
could
press
we?
isn't invited?
No.
No one's invited.
No food for you?
I do have to post it because you're on meeting, but we do put on it workshop. And also, Mark, everybody brings something to eat
Yeah.
that they share.
As we get
Yeah, we'll
closer, Mark,
firm it up.
I'll chat with you, I'll send something out.
No,
No, I
yeah.
make sure, I bring the healthy stuff.
and I bring the
Ben's
lipitor.
limited in his diet.
All right, so we'll tentatively,
But if the French bakery is a good place to stop.
yeah, if our salary gets tripled, oh, that'll still be zero, so, okay.
All right, so tentatively, we have it for the 11th. I'll try and schedule the water department now, just in the event.
Starting at 10 and ending at
9.
9.
9.
And ends at noon.
If you come at 10, we'll have already talked about you.
And the food will be gone.
And
Just
you
still have to
do
clean.
the dishes.
Won't be the first time.
But, yeah, I mean, I'll chat with you, Mark, and Sri will, and I'll be sending, some thoughts out to the board. I think it was very, very productive last year, everyone.
It was very good, I thought.
Yeah.
And it was,
I
it was
think all
fun,
the board-
too.
We
It
did,
was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
okay. All right.
And you didn't explain Mendoza.
I just said we put it off till another time.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I just haven't.
There's no
had
need to
time.
go any further.
Mendoza?
Did you happen to see the stakes that were out there?
At
You know,
Mendoza.
Matt, I thought about stopping by, then all of a sudden, I'm at the light, and oh, it's back
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. But, all right, anything else to come before the board? If not, I'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you all very much.
It was nice